COVID-19 infections in the country has continued to make a massive surge in recent days, with another 400 plus positive cases detected yesterday. The government, which relaxed the clampdown to ease economic constraint, is once again reportedly reached a mindset to impose strict restrictions again. Good morning, I'm Amar Singh Pradhan and these are the headlines of the hour. 450 individuals detected with coronavirus in Nepal yesterday and 16 this morning, taking the total number of infection cases in the country to 8,740. Health Ministry to procure essential medical equipment to contain coronavirus after Nepal Army steps back. Government projects infection cases would climb to 30,000. Nepal Communist Party forced consensus on the provision allowing naturalized citizenship to foreign women marrying Nepali citizens only after 7 years of marriage. And 3 people were killed and 3 more seriously injured after stabbings in a park in Reading, located 35 miles from London. A Libyan man arrested. Sixteen new cases have been confirmed this morning in Nepal, taking the infection tally to 8,740. According to the Health Directorate of Gandaki Province, 9 individuals from Baglung, 4 from Parbat and 1 from Tanu have been diagnosed with the virus. According to the Social Development Ministry of the province, preparations are underway to put them in the isolation. According to the Health Ministry, a total of 7,416 swab samples were tested yesterday through PCR method. This is the highest number of single-day tests until today. With this, 169,165 samples have been tested through PCR. Meanwhile, on a brighter note, 176 individuals have been discharged from hospitals yesterday. With this, 1,578 people have been discharged from different hospitals across the country after full recovery. According to the Health Ministry, 7,005 people are in isolation, while 102,245 individuals are in different quarantine centers across the country. Meanwhile, a 69-year-old man from Gulmi who died on 18th of June in home quarantine has been tested positive for COVID-19. He was suffering from paralysis and had returned from India after undergoing treatment. Chief of Health Department in Gulmi, Dr. Bhavani Prasad Sharma, confirmed that his swab samples was collected and tested positive after his death. With this, the number of deaths due to COVID-19 in the country has reached 23. The Health Ministry will now procure all necessary medical equipment for the coronavirus testings. The government decided to procure equipment through the Health Ministry after the procurement process of Nepal Army was dragged into controversy. The COVID-19 Crisis Management Committee, or CCMC, has approved the procurement planning drafted by the ministry. The Health Ministry is primarily responsible for the procurement of the medical equipment to contain the virus outbreak. However, the government signed the Army to purchase the medical equipment as the agreement between the Department of Health Services and Omni Group had invited controversy. Even as the government had earlier overlooked the criticism, the procurement worth 2.25 billion rupees through the G2G process initiated by the Army had sought into controversy. The price list of the materials submitted by the Army was approved by the Crisis Management Committee led by the Defence Minister. The Nepal Army, however, has stepped back by expressing dissatisfaction with the Prime Minister, citing that the procurement process has defamed the organization. The government, meanwhile, decided to procure the medical equipment through the Health Ministry itself. Earlier, the government had bought equipment worth 1.22 billion rupees, calling 22 tenders through the Nepal Army. The reagents in the stock with the Health Ministry is enough for the next 3 weeks if 5,000 swab samples are tested through PCR method on a daily basis. Likewise, the ministry has VTM kits for the next 15 days. The government has rectified its decision 3 months after assigning the Nepal Army to procure the equipment in place of the Health Ministry. However, the issue of the alleged irregularities by the ministry during the procurement of medical equipment is yet to be sorted out. The CCMC has projected that the total number of coronavirus infections in the country could reach 30,000. There is a call on the government to prove itself by making the procurement process transparent and more effective. The ruling Nepal Communist Party has decided to formulate law making it mandatory for foreign women marrying Nepali citizens to wait for at least 7 years after marriage to obtain naturalized citizenship. The Secretariat Committee meeting of the party held yesterday at the Prime Minister's official residence finalized the party's stand on the Citizenship Act. The party maintained unanimous voice on the provision to allow a foreign woman the naturalized citizenship only after 7 years of a marriage with Nepali citizen. The citizenship bill was under consideration for the past 2 years at the State Affairs and Good Governance Committee under the House of Representatives owing to the disagreement among the political parties. Chairman 2 of the ruling party, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and Pushpa Kamal Dahal held a discussion with the members of the State Affairs Committee representing the party regarding the bill on Friday. Likewise, Prime Minister Oli held discussion with the main opposition Nepali Congress on Friday itself. The committee on Wednesday had given the Home Minister a 5-day ultimatum to resolve the issue. Deliberations are underway within Nepali Congress as well regarding the citizenship bill, while the meeting of the Parliamentary Committee has been slated for later today to sort out the issue. A partial solar eclipse is taking place today. The eclipse will start at 10:50 this morning. The eclipse will reach its midpoint at 12:30 at noon and will end at 2:33 later this afternoon. According to the Nepal Calendar Determination Committee, the eclipse will be visible from Nepal for a duration of 3 hours and 33 minutes. This eclipse will start from the western part of Nepal, moving and culminating in the eastern Nepal. The solar eclipse today can be seen from most of Asian countries, including Nepal, India, China, Thailand, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Southeast Europe, and few African countries. However, this eclipse will not be visible from North and South American continent, Australia, most of Northwest European nations, including the UK, France, Italy, Germany, and Spain, among others. According to the religious practices, certain activities are prohibited during the time of eclipse. It is believed that taking holy dips in rivers, ponds, and lakes and extending helping hands to humanity during the eclipse is considered as noble practices. Youths in the country staged protests in Kathmandu yesterday as well, alleging the government of failing to take effective measures in controlling the coronavirus spread. Youths during the protest criticized the government for being reluctant in expanding PCR test, still using RDT method for coronavirus screening, and the government's indifference towards the irregularities in procuring medical equipment. They staged the protest relying on the road and holding placards at the capital Said Gate. They criticized the recent statement made by Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli that the countrymen have a strong immunity due to regular consumption of turmeric and other spices. Youths urged the government to normalize the public life by controlling the pandemic by expanding the PCR testings. They drew the government's attention towards the hardship borne by the public due to the ongoing nationwide lockdown for the past 3 months. And moving on, the individuals in the far western province who were released from quarantine centers without proper screening have started testing positive for coronavirus. The Provincial Health Directorate had earlier directed the stakeholder authorities to send home individuals in quarantine centers in 9 different districts of the Sudur Paschim province if they did not show any symptoms of coronavirus. As many as 22,000 people in quarantine in the province have already returned home so far. 121 among the returnees have tested positive for the novel coronavirus in the past 1 week. Doctors are of the view that the infection rate has expedited in the region due to the authorities' directive without considering the nature of the virus and its infection. The doctors have also urged the local authorities to stop sending the people in quarantine to their homes without health screening, citing that this would further risk the community transmission of the novel coronavirus in the far western province. And in our Public Voice segment, we had asked the locals of Kabre what might be the reason behind lack of efficiency in development work despite the formation of 3 tiers of government in the country. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
केन्द्रको मान्छे तल्लो तहलाई नमान्ने अनि प्रदेशको सरकारले स्थानीय सरकारलाई नमान्ने त्यस्तो भएको कारणले चाहिँ नि समन्वय हुन नसकेको हो कि
जनप्रतिनिधिहरूको बीचमा चाहिँ अहम ब्रह्म अस्मि भन्ने एउटा मै जान्ने मै सुन्ने मै सर्वेसर्वा हो भन्ने एउटा धारणाको विकास भएको छ। विज्ञहरूसँग समन्वय छलफल नगरिकन गरेको विकास निर्माणको कामले गर्दाखेरि विकास निर्माणको काम प्रभावकारी र गुणस्तरीय हुन सकिरहेको छैन।
आफ्नो आफ्नो पार्टी आफू ठुलो मान्छ, कुनैले कुनै पार्टीको मान्छेलाई नमान्ने, त्यही भएर कारण यस विकास कार्यमा समस्या आयो।
तीनवटा सरकारमा सबैभन्दा मै ठुलो भन्ने एउटा अहमता छ। त्यो अहमताले गर्दा छ नि एक्लै अर्काको बीचको समन्वय नगर्न सक्नु। त्यो
तीनटै सरकारको कारणले गर्दाखेरि विकास हुन सकेन। त्यसको माग हामी जनताले खप्न परिरहेको छ।
सरकारको समन्वय भयो भनेदेखि त यो देशमा त के हुन्छ के हुन्छ त्यही अब उनीहरू नमिले जस्तो गर्ने अनि आफू खानु पाइने, उसले उसलाई दोष देखायो, उसले उसलाई दोष देखायो।
And now time for our segment Public Pulse, where it texts us with their opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, why has the revenue declined despite chopping down large amount of trees in the name of scientific forest management? Our options are option A, nexus between contractors and staff, option B, no forest related industry, and option C, sluggish monitoring. The voting is on. Tab in AWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Stay with us for more news and entertainment on KTVS. Stay safe and have a good day.